All right. We have the ZiiGaat Lush at the moment. Let's see if I can hold these properly. There we are. Pictured here with Tongsu Sangsai tips. Standard bore, although I did try the wide bore. Anyway, this is ZiiGaat's kind of middle of the road, no name BA hybrid dynamic kind of mid forward set. And I will say at the moment, I did purchase this on my own. Obviously, I don't get sent stuff. This is going to be a catch and release for me. I'm not super into these, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about why. So, got the box in hand already. Let's take a look. You don't get much with these. The packaging is nice, but aside from a single set of tips and a little case that I don't like very much, that's kind of all you get is the earpieces and cable. We'll get to the build in a moment, but let's take a look here. This is the branded carrying case it comes with. It's got a nice design, but we'll get to it. The inside features this mesh netting. You can store tips or whatever. It's what I threw in here. I did travel with these, so this came in handy. However, this case is kind of difficult in that the zipper is a little stubborn, a little difficult. Not a fan. In an airplane, airport situation where I want to whip out some IEMs, headphones, whatever, real fast, the zipper being difficult is an obstacle that I don't enjoy. It's definitely something that happened to me in real life. So let's get to the actual IEMs themselves. This is the sort of gray black colorway. I think there's another one, but this is what I've got on hand at the moment. In real life, they look sort of darker than the kind of gray, like stone finish pictured on the box, and I've seen in other YouTube videos. Like, I want to say, yeah, this is a lot more how people are going to perceive this in your ear. It just looks like a black, shiny earpiece. How far deep into this are we? Let's go. I fucking hate this cable. It's plasticky, it's thin. It is a big fan of tangling into itself. It is nice and light if you care about that. It feels more like a cable suited for stage use, maybe, where you need something low-key. But as far as a consumer product that feasibly one would pay $180 for, not a fan. This is the 3.5 termination. I don't know if there is a 4.4. Probably should look that up, but whatever. It is not modular, so you don't get an option to run 4.4. And I would just like to see at this price point, different, maybe more tip selection, like a better overall accessories package. This cable is atrocious in my opinion. You're not getting branded drivers where, in this price range, I think you can get stuff with actual Knowles or Sonian BAs. Maybe not 4 of them, but still, like, at this point, you're definitely just paying for the sound. And while it is a good sound, I would say overall, I'm not paying $180 for this. Nor did I, actually. I got these secondhand. and I'm going to be selling them because, well, they are good. They just they do not spark joy. Obviously, the cable has been a gripe. The case is kind of whatever. The tips that it came with were not comfortable in my opinion, but I mean, you can't really... Stock tips are almost never going to be like good unless you're talking brands that give you like a set of final type E's or what have you. But anyway, I ended up running the Tongzu Songtai small tips, standard bore. I did try the wide bore for a while, and spin fit omnis, which look like this, which are kind of this is a medium size. These seal pretty well usually in my ear, although I traveled with these tips on, and I want to say that they sealed a little bit too well in my ear, because during the flight and subsequent bus rides and things after that I took, there was some pressure buildup issues, which usually is not something I'm sensitive to, but yeah. Something about these, which are vented. Can I get that on camera? Yeah, kind of. I don't understand exactly why I got pressure buildup issues, but I did. So, oof, you can see a dog hair there. Gross. Anyway, I mean, overall build quality for the actual earpieces is fine. It just doesn't feel in hand like $180 thing is my biggest gripe, I think. This cable feels worse than the one that I got with like the Kiwi Ears Cadenza, which is $35 or something. I would take it over the Truth Ear Gate cable or even the Hexa cable. No, I'd take the Hexa cable over this. It's just not... It ain't it, Chief. Other than the cable, build quality is fine. It looks fine. Nozzle is metal. It is not too big of a chonker. These kind of sit in an ear well, given the right tips, but yeah, the pressure buildup, I just didn't... Normally I don't have trouble with that, and I did with these, so not sure what that's about. But anyway, let's go over to my graphs here. I'll have this, as always, linked to the description, burnedin.squig.link, and yeah, so I've just finished measuring this guy. The blue line is going to be with the standard tips that it comes with. The red line is going to be Omnis, the spin fits that I ran with for a little, at least 2-3 days, traveled with them, and then the tips I ultimately settled on, the Tongzu Songtai standard bore. So ultimately this is going to be a very upper mid forward, and I don't know, otherwise kind of plain sounding set. There is some pretty good sub bass action going on. As far as the bass as a whole goes, it's definitely sub bass focused. You can see a lot of sub bass energy here. The mid bass is kind of almost tucked away a little bit, especially right here around $150. My personal preference is to have a little bit more of a hump here in the mid bass, just to have a little more kick, but this still can sound all right. It sounds overall kind of clean-ish with the stock tips and similar. So it's not that engaging for me. I find it to be... It sounds like I'm studio monitoring like the final mix of a song or something. It's not clinical exactly. It's just not very engaging. With the Omnis, it almost kind of like down tilts the upper mids a little bit and tries to introduce a little more air, but I didn't really notice much of a difference in all actuality listening to these. I just used them because the fit was a little bit more comfortable. The Sansai tips I found to be the most balanced sounding to my ear, just because I'm not the biggest sub bass fan, so I didn't mind that it kind of brought down the sub bass here. I think bringing down that sub bass and bring up the upper mids a little bit kind of helped with clarity even more. These aren't necessarily a veiled sounding set or anything, but between the sub bass and the upper mids here, and like maybe I'm perceiving this like little boost in 10K in comparison to the Omnis, but you can't really trust a measuring rig that far up, at least mine anyway. In any case, yeah, I just found this to be the most enjoyable sound from the Lush. It's not stellar. It's good. It's the most inoffensive sounding thing, I think, that you could spend $180 on, which you might be looking for, but personally, for my money, I would rather get something with a nicer accessory package or a little bit different of a sound. For example, half the cost, you can get something like Aria 2 still, and that's like this fun kind of single dynamic physical sounding set, or S08, which I just made a video on, which sounds a little bit more technical and airy. The Vampire is one of my favorite sets, especially at $100, and you can see it's a lot warmer, but overall it just has a bit of a different kind of presentation that's more enveloping and fun. This thing is just it's just real mid-centric. You know what I mean? It's almost as well, I was gonna say almost as bad as Studio 2, but that's not true at all. Studio 2 is about as bland as anything can sound. There's a reason I haven't made a video on it or talk about it. I use it as a drum monitor, actually. I use it as an actual studio monitor because it's not good for listening to music with, but even that sort of sometimes has more merit, for me at least, than the Lush. Like, the Lush is really nice, don't get me wrong. I would take the Lush over Studio 2 for the money, which they are about the same. But I wouldn't. At least with Studio 2, you get a cooler case, a nicer cable. Still not modular. Again, half the price. Hexa, like, it's definitely going to be a lot more clinical of a sound, the Hexa, in my opinion. And the way Hexa interacts with my inner ear or whatever, I can't usually. It usually is a little too sharp at the end of vocals and things like that for me. Something in the treble and Hexa just doesn't agree with my ear. But anyway, yeah, I mean, for what you get and the sound you get with ZiiGaat Lush, like, personally, I couldn't justify buying this when Truth Ear Pure exists, right? When Hexa exists. Like, Fearless Shangri-La, like, people don't talk about this set too much, but this thing is probably an extra $40-50. You get branded drivers. It's the same kind of single DD for BA dynamic. The sound from this is a lot more engaging and enjoyable for me, at least. It may be a little too spicy for some, but you get a really nice cable. The case is also bad with that too. What I'm saying basically is ZiiGaat Lush is mid, and if you're looking for mid, you probably can't do any better than this. Me personally, I'm just not into the whole. Maybe it's this take of JM1, but to me, it's just a little bit boring. It's clean, it's nice. If you're looking for a set you can just throw on and enjoy, I don't have any doubts that most people can enjoy Lush, but for that price, I just want more. I want more things. I want more stuff and things. Let's switch back over to the camera. I think I'm done talking about chart stuff. Yeah, for $180 you get this small, medium, and large tips, and a cable that could have come on the Truthier gate for all I care. Like, it's just not great. Although it is light, if you're looking for a lightweight set, please focus. Focus. There we go. If you're looking for a light set, I mean, this is that. Light sounds good. It's a little pricey for what you get, in my opinion. Build quality is fine. Cable is atrocious. Get a different cable maybe, and you'll feel like your money's worth it, but then you're spending more money. So, I don't know, man. A lot of people are a fan of the Lush. It's okay to a fault, in my opinion. But I think that about does it for me in Lush here. Yeah, probably not going to hold on to this guy. Probably just going to sell it in a little day or two, something like that. But that's going to do it. If you even care, like, comment, subscribe, ask me things about it if you want. If you want to buy this, let me know. No, I'll probably post this on something. Don't hit me up about Lush. Hopefully by the time this video is up, I've already sold it anyway. Coming up next, maybe Shangri-La. There we go. I could talk about that a little bit, but I won't. I've also got on the desk here Timeless 2 on a crazy cable that I had sitting around, and the Tongzhou Wu Zetian Legend edition. I'm probably going to do a planar, like, sit down and talk video. But anyway, that's it for Lush. It's alright. It's brutally alright. Peace.